I think what it does is
Since you're going with what,
It's fine, it's hard.
you wanna make it good?
Just dive in. Let's see.
Nobody's-
You got it.
Nobody's judging.
Nobody.
okay. So thank all of you for coming and helping me with my project here. We're gonna talk about childhood obesity and adult obesity and how we can change it and why it is the way it is now, the statistics and all of that. So I'll start by asking if any of you have like what's your childhood memories, I guess, in school? Like if you can think of anything that happened in elementary school, random off the top of your head, what would it be? Father.
As far as PE goes,
No, not specifically, just anything that happened that stood out to you that you can remember from elementary school.
elementary school for me would be PE. Running. Running stands out to me.
End of the year, 5th grade kickball tournament.
Mom,
I would say the kickball tournaments too, I remember that.
Elise,
Still day.
Shannon,
Definitely kickball for me. That was fun.
and
History class.
well, that's the point, right? So all of us remember, like mainly sports activities. We won't remember really learning, sitting in class, doing all that. It's more of the fun stuff. But nowadays, in reality, they don't do as much physical activity in school because bullying is more predominant now, which it probably was before, but not as much as it is like globally now. It's like a big thing, and we talk about it more. So that would be the reason that I think that I've researched also the reason why it's like less and less in school, but even high school is like way out there. Like I feel like when I was in high school, I still don't think that we did a lot as much as, back in the day. But anyways, so what is obesity? Does anybody have an educated guess on the definition?
Someone who overeats for various reasons, maybe emotional reasons.
Okay. Anybody else? Shannon?
Yeah, I had it. I lost it.
Without looking?
Chemical imbalance.
Okay, well, obesity is, it's caused by basically you're not using enough energy more than you're like consuming. So you have, like you burn this many calories, but you're eating more calories. So it doesn't burn off, and then eventually over time it turns into fat, and then you become obese. So 1 in 3 children are overweight or obese now, which has gone up since 1980. It's doubled in adults and then tripled in children since 1980. The risk factors of obesity, it can lead to heart disease and diabetes and high blood pressure and also some types of cancers. Let's see. And the suicidal rates are 2 and 3 times more likely in people who are obese than people who aren't obese. So, does anybody have any suggestions on what could be done in the U.S. as far as how we can change the obesity rates?
Food. Maybe some more physical activity in school and less, like phones and iPads and all that. I mean, they're bringing that all to the school, the iPhones and the iPads and everything, and doing less physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
See, maybe that, but they restrict people from using their phones and, like, I mean, I understand that they're trying to make our lunches more healthy, but, I mean, obviously it's not helping that much. They're still not that good for you. And all it is just less food, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, in schools, they're not really giving us what we should be eating. There's a school that I read about in Illinois that they're doing a farm-to-school program. And so, one, they're boosting the economy for them by buying from farmers, and it's helping them, their small business, and then helping the children. eat better, and they even implemented classes on the subject, so it's teaching them how to farm, why they're farming, what they're putting in their body and everything, so it ends up, they have statistics that say that that class specifically has helped the children make better food choices outside of home too. So, anything else that could help with the obesity rates? Anybody?
Well, less fast food. I think fast food restaurants have a lot to do with obesity. And our society, we're just always in a hurry, and it's easier to go get fast food than come home and make a meal and sit at the table and eat a dinner with your family.
Yeah, because all the technology advances have made everything seem like quick, and it just changed everyone's perspective to they need everything quick.
And it's cheaper too.
And it's cheaper, yes. So that's one of the things that needs to happen for us to actually be strict on this diet thing is it needs to be cheaper. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why people say that they would rather eat fast food is the convenience and the price difference. So, one thing that I thought of and I researched and read about was different classes. Because of the bullying situation, gym isn't always like the number one thing that they should go to, like, oh, we need more gym, we need more exercise. It's like there are a lot of children that are obese and they don't want to go in the gym class and play like volleyball, get picked on and all this stuff because they can't play. So other types of classes that involve physical activity but don't just come out and say it's like a sport, it's competitive, like gardening, for example. Even in adults in their 60s and 70s, if they're gardening, they're average like 40% less likely to develop dementia, which is good, right? It's also a stress reliever, so it actually reduces depression in children and adults. And it also is going to obviously give you the nutritional value, like the fresh fruit that you're growing and vegetables and all that. And it actually burns calories, and it is a workout. So that was just one idea I had. Does anybody else have a class suggestion that would be different from gym? That's kind of...
Well, they have, at y'all school now, they have that body sculpting class. It's more like yoga and things like that.
Yeah, yoga. Let's see. So, to recap, right? So, the obesity rates are growing, and these are some things that we can do to change it, right? So, is anybody gonna take away anything from this? Like, anybody have any ideas?
I like the gardening thing. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I do, because I plant a garden. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Yes, it is, especially in
I would
an
do it just for
apartment.
the stress relief and
Well, I can say overall that the form of education that our younger people are getting today is nowhere near what I got.
Mhm.
There's so much more technology involved that in so many aspects you have forgotten how to do things that as a child I would do.
even
So-
when I was a child, same.
Yeah, and that takes away a lot of physical activities. So many kids now have no responsibility and are not made to do anything other than sit before their electrical gadgets and do whatever they do.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like, it's fascinating for the parents and the children, so the parents are more likely to have their children do it, so some people have the idea that it'll take away, like, give them time to do dishes, clean up, do all this stuff, and then it turns into something else, and then it becomes distracting, and then it's like, what are we gonna do now, you know? And then by that time, it's so normal that it's just like, whatever.
Even if
And-
people just took like parents took the phones away and the iPads away for a certain amount of time during the week. You know, whether it be like an hour or 2 hours where they have to do something outside.
Yeah, it's like the parents and the teachers and stuff, cause when I was in high school, it was like if you were caught with a phone, it was like, you get it taken away.
Well,
And you don't get it back until your parent comes up to the school and takes it.
well, it's kind of a culture change though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you can,
It's
you
this,
can put laws down, you can offer classes in school, and that's great and everything. But, you know, I mean, everything starts at home, so, you know, the parents are not instilling,
Mhm.
you know, good eating habits and exercise and things of that nature in everyday life, then everything else is just gonna be forced on them in a sense, and, kids are gonna reject it based off of that.
it just boils down to bringing it home, right? And having the parents realize that this is a major issue and we need to change it now. Because I have a quote on the front part of the poster that came out of a health journal, National Health Society, something like that. And they stated that for the first time in nation's history, we could be raising children that will live sicker and die younger than the generation before them. So it can lead, I mean, it will progress and be worse if it doesn't, if something doesn't happen at home first.
Yeah, parents, I think it starts with them, but the kids need to figure it out for themselves.
Well, that too,
Like,
because we have it.
my dad actually, he takes us out for bike rides all the time. And then we'll go out for like 5 Guys after. But we worked to burn off calories just to add them back on. But you feel like you actually accomplished something. So once you actually do exercise, like afterwards, you feel good. And it's just like when you eat healthy, I heard that like, I struggle with eating healthy. So like, but you're like more awake and you're able to concentrate better. So kids would probably do better in school too if they ate better.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Does anybody have any questions? Any more comments? All right, thank you guys for being here and supporting me. Does it stop button over?